I down to 2 bars already? Whatever. All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back for another video. Thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell, and all that good stuff. Today, we're gonna start fitting this body kit on the 190E. So if you're brand new to the channel, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, this is your first video you're watching, go back, watch the last video. We got a new body kit for the 190E. I keep saying we, this is my wife's car. I'm doing the work on it, she's buying the stuff. It's gonna turn out pretty awesome. We're trying to figure out what motor swap we're gonna go with too. We're gonna do a motor swap on it, so be sure to subscribe for that to get all the content on this car. My car is a RB25 swapped 240SX. Waiting on a body kit for that car too, so I'm gonna try to get in the mode of body working and start installing this kit. Not gonna go too crazy today because I'm just trying to get it started, get a little bit more motivation because I was pretty motivated when we first got the kit and now I'm just kind of like lazy about it, but I think I'm just gonna try to fit the front bumper and maybe the side skirt. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do both side skirts, but main thing, I'm gonna get the car up in the air so it's nice and I could actually get under it to see what I need to do. And I have to figure out how everything has to get attached because I don't see any holes on any of these panels that we have that came with the kit. The only one that has something to affix it to the car is the wing that we're gonna have to drill through the trunk and to install, which isn't gonna be a hard one to do because it kind of just fits where it fits. You don't have to like kind of line it up. Like when I did the wing on my car, I kind of had to look at pictures and figure out where it had to go. This one kind of just sits on the trunk where it's got to go. There is an issue with it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to fit that right away, but I'll show you that quick. And like I said earlier, you should watch the last video up. I already linked it, but you should watch the last video to see the full damage report. Well, there's not much damage, but the wing and the rear bumper have the damage, which would have been nice to do the rear bumper, but I got to fix the rear bumper first. So rear wing has a couple chunks missing out of it. It's not the end of the world. Gonna probably do some body filler or something, and the rear bumper has a crack right there. So we'll figure out how to fix that with we'll figure out how to fix that using fiberglass the correct way and get that looking 100% before it goes off to the body shop. So we're gonna try to get this car in the air and ready to go. I have been considering getting quick jacks. Not sure if I'm gonna do that yet, but I kind of want the quick jacks. Leave the comments down below if they're actually worth it or not. Alright, car's jacked up. Obviously didn't film it. I have the heater on, so maybe I'll let the garage warm up a little bit, get the chill out, because it's a little chilly out today. Then maybe I'll start taking off the front bumper. I think the side skirts have to come off, but the bolts that I saw in are rusted to shit, so I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. Maybe I'll just start WD-40 in them now, to see if they come off, hopefully. I'm not completely sure which bolts have to come out, but I'm going to take 4 out, and then we're going to see if it comes off. If it comes off, I'll show you which ones. Simple as that. Under there quick, I will show you what we're working with. Oops, don't drop the camera. They're right there. 1 and 2 right there. That appears to be holding the whole bumper. Quick rundown on how to take the bumper off. I don't know if there's any videos on YouTube, so I'm gonna tell you how to do it. So it was those 2 bolts, those 2 nuts that were on here. There's 4 total, 2 on each side. Boom and boom. I believe that was a 13 millimeter. It's a 13 millimeter to take those off. Then holding in the sides of the fender over here, the sides of the bumper, there's a 10 mil that's in there. Mine's pretty rusted, it was a little bracket. I'll see if it's still connected to the bumper when I take it off to show you. One on the passenger side was broken, so I only had to take the driver's side one off. Now, this wire, I don't know what that wire actually is, but it's on the back side of the license plate. So disconnect that. And here's the moment of truth. Bumper. This is where the fun part comes in, trying to figure this stuff out on how to affix this to the car now, because this was the bash beam, the bash bar right here, is basically all the rigidity in the bumper. And it appears like there's these nuts coming on through here. It appears to me that connects this. It appears to me that holds this piece of the bumper in, which also holds it to the car. This doesn't have anything. If we look at this piece of the bumper, that doesn't have that two-tone gray piece. So I'm gonna take this piece off, put the bash bar back on, and see if I could use that as like a shelf to sit this on. Then I just gotta figure out some way to connect the bumper to the rest of it. That was a lot more annoying than I was thinking. So there's 3 screws on each side. Mine kind of looked like they were rivets because they were rusted to complete shit. So I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to focus on this for you. That's how rusted. That was the least rusted one. So 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a bunch of these stupid clips like this that you have to work your way along the bumper popping out. That's finally off. Now I can get to these screws, so probably those 2 and those 2, and hopefully this whole piece pops off. So I got that resting on. I may have figured out, well, not figured out, I've run into a problem already. May have done all that work to get the bash bar off for no reason, but I'll show you what we got here and what we gotta do, I guess. We gotta figure something out to fix this. Got this, so obviously we have that gap there, pretty big gap there. These ducts, these vents right here, we'll get under the car in a second, but this is bash bar right here. And obviously this has to go up higher. Then let's look from underneath here. So that's the vent, that's the duct, and you see it's hitting that bolt on the bash bar right above it. So that's happening on both sides. So I'm gonna have to figure something out here. Might have to wind up chopping the whole bottom of the bash bar off, which will still leave us some rigidity. I could always box it in. I do have a welder. I could always do that. Could always chop it off and do something with it, but it looks like I might have to chop a little bit off. This is always a risk you could run into when you get a reproduction kit. I actually don't even know if Mercedes makes this kit or who makes the actual EVO 2 kit, but this is always a problem when you get something like this. Plus, obviously there's no direction. So you obviously just have to figure it out as you go. And this is gonna be a little bit of a problem. So I just gotta figure out, am I gonna chop that? I can't just delete it because then I really have nothing to sit this thing on. So might have to take a little bit of the duct out too. I might have to chop some of that off. I realized that that bash bar has a little bit of play in it. So I loosened up the bolts on both ends, lifted it up nice and high. Well, as high as it goes. So it's fitting a little better. I'm probably gonna wind up trimming the ducts on the bumper. So obviously not 100%, it's literally just resting on there. You're gonna have to figure out the side of the kit. Oh, don't drop it. Gonna have to figure out the side of the kit, how far this is supposed to stick out, because when the fender flares go on. All right, camera battery died, but yeah, I was showing you that the sides of the bumper are gonna stick out because it's gonna mate up to the flare. So we're just gonna have to figure that out after we get this mounted up. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm probably just gonna trim the ducts in the bumper. If I could find a mask, because fiberglass is no good. I wanna make sure you don't breathe the shit in. saw me do some clearancing, test fit, did a little bit more clearancing. I'll show you the look the look on the ducts that we're going with here. So cut basically just the top section off. It seems to be sliding in pretty nice and tight now, so all I'm gonna have to do is figure out where like center is before well, I should find where center is and maybe tape it on so it doesn't move. So, like I said, this is going to be a slow process, trying to get this thing looking as good as it possibly can. It is a fiberglass kit from some random company that probably won't fit the best, but we're going to try to make it fit the best it can. A little bit of safety when dealing with fiberglass, let's just get this out of the way. I probably should have said it way earlier, but if you're going to follow along with this build series, make sure you cover up your skin as much as possible. Wear a face mask if you can, even if it's just the dust one, and even goggles, safety glasses of some sort. Fiberglass, if you haven't worked with it before, if you're cutting it, not so much if you're just moving around and stuff, but if you're cutting it and stuff, that stuff gets in your skin and it feels horrible. So the only way around it, I think one of the only ways around it that I know of is you gotta take like a really hot shower because it opens up like the pores in your skin, then you could scrub it out. But other than that, it'll feel like you just like touch your skin and it'll feel like you got stabbed. So that's no fun. And then just imagine what that does in your lungs. So be as safe as you can when dealing with it, and it is what it is. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on this one. It was a little hard getting myself motivated to start doing this, but once I got this sitting there, I start feeling a little better about it. Once I can figure out a way to mount that, I'll just center it as best as I can using body lines. I'll just try to center it as best as I can. Then we'll just mount it up. Probably maybe put a piece of foam underneath this and above the bash bar just to get it to sit there, put a bolt through or something like that. We'll figure it out, but it is what it is. Join me again, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave some comments down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
That